The outsourcing of American jobs through globalization in the early 1980s triggered a cycle of homelessness in America not seen since the Great Depression. Trickle-down economics of the Reagan administration eliminated the tax base that funded public housing and other social services for the poor. For 35 years, the need for food, shelter, and health services for the majority of homeless has been chronically out of reach. Many streams contribute to the flood of homelessness. More than half of the homeless population are simply victims of economic displacement. Fallout from the social safety net sweep people with catastrophic medical expenses, the elderly and unemployed, the mentally and physically ill, and people flushed from an industrialized prison system into the streets. Orphans and foster care children that matriculate into young adult chaos, and runaways from abusive and dysfunctional families become lost in the tide. Trauma-related stress disorders are often a factor leading to homelessness and are a daily fact of life for anyone once they are out on the street. When cultural bias about who are the deserving poor versus the undeserving poor forms public policy, biases against people with addictions and prison records further stratify the dysfunction. The fact is that nearly all homeless people have some sort of medical, psychological, or physical disability, and nearly all suffer post-traumatic stress disorders. There is a dynamic relationship between adverse childhood experiences and the quality of life that one is capable of leading. One study, a collaboration between the Centers for Disease Control and Kaiser Permanente, found that most people suffering from a poor quality of life can trace their symptoms, drug addiction, mental illness, and homelessness, back to adverse childhood experiences. They produced a questionnaire that gives the respondents a score from 0 to 10 based on their exposure to adverse child experiences. The higher the score, the higher the risk of negative health and quality of life outcomes. Judge Mike Schneider of Houston Girls Court explains what compelled him to become involved in changing the way services are disseminated to Houston's homeless.
Because, it's one thing to read about these cases, and certainly the amount of press that's been given to these types of cases has increased hugely over the last 5 years. But a lot of it is just from seeing real live people who are going through this.
Life story. It's like my mom gave me away. I never knew who my father was from birth, so it was like I had to learn everything on my own. Like my mom gave me away when I was 5 years old. People I didn't even know, but I was happy. Even though it abused me, but I was happy. But it's things that my mom let happen to me. I've been abused as a young child, and it had a big effect on me. But to this day, I'm a strong person. I can say that honestly.
I was 9, about to be 10, and he was killed. And she threw me in a fireplace, and I remember having burns and stuff. And the people seen us sitting in the car, they seen that I had burns. She didn't even try to take me to the hospital. They took me to the hospital, and I remember them taking us to a foster home. But in the foster home, the boys and the girls were split up, and they were abusing my brother, and they were abusing me. I was like
sexually, or
yeah, sexually. Like the staff member.
Right now, if you get they call whooping and spanking, mine was with stretcher cord, switch that they wrap around it, plants, water hose, whips, whatever mama had in the hand. If you did something wrong, that's what you can get hit with.
So why do you think she used those ways on you?
Because I figure her parents did her like that. And she figured that was the way that her parents brought her up.
Yeah.
So that's what she bring her kids up. But
Houston has become a part of the vanguard in the way that this nation meets the needs of the chronically homeless and the working poor. Houston has always been a compassionate city. Witnessing the plight of its most vulnerable citizens, Houston city leaders were inspired to found Neighborhood Centers, Inc. and the Star of Hope Mission in 1907.
Okay. I'm Marilyn Brown. I'm the president and CEO of the Coalition for the Homeless of Houston and Harris County.
I'm Tal Costas, and I'm the president and CEO of Search Homeless Services. Okay. Houston has become much more sophisticated in how we address homelessness. No longer are we just managing the problem, which was what we were doing for, 20 plus years, since the late 80s. And now we're really becoming much more of a system.
What happens now is we partner. Before, each individual agency had to solve all of the issues for each person who presented at their door.
So for many years, Search was also, providing housing. In our building currently, we have 42 single room occupancy apartments. We don't need to be in the landlord, property management business. Our expertise is in working with individuals and helping them to learn how to be a good neighbor, how to be back in the community, how to build community.
So by bringing everybody to the table, determining what our real needs in Houston were based on data.
So today the coalition is in charge of our data system. So we have a web-based data system that can track our clients across the different agencies. There are about 70 different agencies that participate in this data system.
Of what we had, what we needed.
And so they can see kind of our community overall, how many people enter into our network of services.
Ways that people were experiencing homelessness in our geographic jurisdiction.
And who kind of gets caught up in there, and who are able to get out quickly on their own or with a little bit of help.
We created a system and began to build those partnerships. And the result is it's working. Amazing, we're so happy. We actually branded it, called it The Way Home, so that everybody kind of works under this same identity of The Way Home. And since January of 2012, when the system transformation started, we have documentation of over 4,300 veterans and their families have been moved from homelessness into housing, and over 3,000 formerly chronically homeless individuals, which is a very specific definition, people who are very vulnerable, but over 3,000 of them in the 4+ years have been moved from the street, because mostly chronic individuals are most of those that are unsheltered most of the time, and they are now successfully living in housing.
I mean, prison is great at preparing you to be in prison. It's not necessarily great. In fact, it's usually not great in teaching you how to be a responsible citizen.
Oh, pretty good though. Everybody is quiet. Ain't that many people over here. It's usually, we have about maybe 50 people stay over here.
Yeah.
Around here. You got some guys sleeping over in that park, over there by that building over there. But they can't go over there when they had a baseball game tonight.
Yeah.
So they had to wait till the park attendants leave.
So, if you would guess, about how many nights have you slept out during the course of your lifetime?
Over. I've been on the streets ever since 88. So, what I'm thinking now, I'm thinking that I know I got a problem. I know what I need to do. I need to get somebody to help me to do it. And the only way that I can do it is like they got these rehab centers that you go in and you can sign out. If I go in, I don't want to sign out. I want somebody to sign me in and keep me there at least 6-7 months so I can feel myself getting better.
Out like a Lottie's eye. Hello, Ben. You doing all right today? Oh,
Hi. How
Hi.
you doing? Ben
I'm
DeSoto.
Ben?
Yes. Another Ben.
Ben and my other brother Ben. That's all right. Have you already seen the You're in the process. Good deal. Well, I hope you come up soon.
Yeah, glad to have you. Glad to have you in the house. You're a good friend. Good friend.
So did you guys?
Hey, babe. You gonna get the phone number? Yeah. You get the phone? I'm gonna get the same number. Okay. But it's cut off now. So when I get another phone,
Would you stay in touch with me?
I'm coming back.
All right.
I'll be back to see you.
Love you, man.
I love you too.
Keep your head up out there, back
You
boy.
know, keep on doing. Get your card. Get your
Hey, I went
card.
and got my ID today.
Okay.
I got it going my way.
Yeah.
Now you go down there and get your bus card. Go get your bus card.
I'll do it. I'm gonna come see you.
All right.
All right.
All
Take
right.
it easy.
Now Ben has been helping you kind of navigate the way. He's been trailblazing for you, yeah. So it's been helpful having someone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
We got some stuff in common. You know what I mean? That he got with me with, and he's helped me out a lot.
Good deal.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. All right. Thank you so much. Now
Thank
you have a good day.
Y'all have a good one.
You wouldn't let me do it. Yeah, you could have did it for me.
You take care, man.
All right, then.
I see you.
All right, I'll be back. We're at the New Hope Housing, my new room.
Your new room.
My room, new apartment.
All right. It's your apartment. huh?
Yes, it's mine.
How's it feel?
Excellent. Excellent. I ain't got to worry about being out on the streets or sleeping underneath the bridge or warehouses where I used to. It's mine.
You're doing.
Well, the exciting news is that we are about to move after 20 years of being in this building here in Midtown to another newly developing area, Edo. to build our new employment services and care hub. We are also building a second House of Tiny Treasures preschool for children who've experienced homelessness, whose families are working to rebuild their lives. Yeah. So we'll be able to triple that capacity and serve a total of 104 children, 2 to 5 year olds, get them ready for school, and get them ready for life. And with our new employment services and care hub, that's our new headquarters. It's going to be built to who we are today and strategically what our community and how Surge can best contribute to ending homelessness. There's a storage space, a lot of storage because we get things donated and stuff, but so that's the main entrance for the clients. There's a large kind of walkway there from the main street of Congress as people come in, and then this is a big lobby for people to wait, and it's going to be a very comfortable kind of hotel type space, so that when they come over here and do check-in, so this is our intake area, we'll have a little room where new clients can come and be informed about homelessness or about the services that are available to them. So we made a chapel space.
Okay.
And a food pantry, hygiene packs.
So the goal is to be able to obviously expand the number of people that we see, expand the services, the programs within our agency. I mean, that's really the main thing, is just to expand what we're to be able to meet the demand. We've never been able to meet the demand. We've never had the space or the staff to meet the demand, and so now we have the opportunity to potentially meet that demand.
I have a graphic that I can send you on how people feed into our services. But it talks. We collaborate a lot with the county jail, as you know, for the Jail in Reach project. We also have the contract for the 1115 waiver, which is the supportive housing. And so that feeds into our services. Other agencies that we work with, Search, for example, when our clinic was there, certainly fed people at the Beacon.
We have formal and informal referral. I mean, we have a formal. There's a form that somebody, and then John picks up the call, phone and says, "I have somebody. Can I send them over?" Here.
Okay, so you guys function as a kind of a clinic.
A primary care medical home.
Okay, primary care medical home. Well, that's wonderful. That's really cool. What's that acronym?
PCMH.
PCMH. Okay.
And that really mirrors what you were talking about earlier, shifting less from that crisis-based care model to the longer-term continuity of care, and trying to improve health and social outcomes through longer-term care. I think last year we served almost 7,000.
Oh,
and
God.
that was through 6,800 and something that our patients served, people served, unduplicated.
And you're citing...
That's all of our programs.
Okay, and then overall you have how many programs? You have broadly medical and dental. And
yes,
within that
we are working with a coalition with permanent supportive housing.
Okay.
And then we have the Jail in Reach.
Okay.
And underneath that, another program, Healthy and Whole, which is a prostitution recovery project.
Okay.
And then we have a transportation. Well, I mean, all of our services are geared in a very unique way to this population. So our clinical model is different than most clinics.
I described it, and I don't know if this is appropriate, if you guys feel comfortable with this, but it's a recognition that case managers effectively are basically life coaches for,
I don't know if it helps, but our entire setup for the medical and dental is based on exactly that, so that behavioral, am I saying that right? Great. That the behavioral therapist can come into the room where the patient's being seen by a doctor.
Okay.
So you'll see when they take you up there. I mean,
Okay.
the whole clinic is designed around this model.
Well, it's my honor and my privilege to introduce our next speaker for the evening, Charlotte Garner. She's an incredibly special person. And those of you who know her know how special she is, and the rest of you are about to find out. Charlotte arrived in Houston with 32 cents in her pocket and the clothes on her back. She came to HHH in 2006, and we are now lucky enough to have her as the chair of our Consumer Advisory Board, which is also known as the Change Committee. The Change Committee helps guide our services and our programming from those who have themselves experienced homelessness. In addition to playing an invaluable role at HHH, she has now completed her associate's degree, is a senior at UH Downtown, and soon to graduate with a bachelor's degree in psychology. She aspires to continue her education and to pursue a PhD. She's a licensed minister, a certified Christian counselor, and I think is amazing, she's our resident poet. She is going to share with you tonight one of her writings. Please welcome to the stage Charlotte Garner.
Good evening, everyone. There's a saying that if you want something that you never had, then you have to do something that you never did. Well, I stand before you tonight doing something that I've never done, and that's addressing a crowd of people who have achieved the goal that I'm now working for. So therefore, I'm going to play to my strength, and I'm going to open up with an icebreaker, which is a poem that I wrote. Now, when I wrote this poem, I was inspired to write it, but the title comes at the end. And so it goes like this. There is but one constant transition. Everything must change, evolving, advancing, progressing anew. Change is the one thing that we must do. For if we do not implement this principle and apply it to our lives, you'll wake up one day and see your future's gone, your destiny is history. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. As long as there's life, there is hope. But time is of the essence. Don't hesitate. Good things come to those who wait, but not to those who wait too late. Don't get caught up in the play of youth. Make good use of your early years. Do it now. Don't wait till later, so your latter days will be greater. The idea of change can be overwhelming, and no one can do it alone. Trust the Change Committee. Our shoulders are broad and strong. Today, you're not heavy. My brother, my sister, will help you to carry on. Join us as we stand ready to help, to guide you through the process step by step. We'll roll up our sleeves. There's work to be done. Look at us. We're living testimonies that the battle can be won. Old or young, it doesn't matter. What's important is that you get a new start. We're here to help you stand the test so that you can be your very best. Change.